post it on Facebook, YouTube, but now posting on YouTube much easier. Right, so this is on YouTube now. Okay, let's start. David?
Thank you, Ajahn. Good afternoon, everyone. It's lovely to see you all again, and especially Emma and Gary, who had a problem joining us for the last couple of sessions. So, as usual, I spent some time thinking, what will I do with the introduction? And I suppose the first thing was to welcome Madhuri, and we've done that. Is that how we pronounce your name, Madhuri?
It's Madhuri, as if there are two A's, yeah.
Okay, Madhuri.
Madhuri, yeah.
So, I was reflecting on a talk Ajahn did last night, actually, about embracing change. And some of you will know I was a director at the Robert Gordon University and in other organizations, big organizations, and part of my work, a lot of my work involved in coordinating and leading and arranging change in large organizations. And there were quite a few things we learned from that, which I think are relevant to our teaching. And I thought I'd just reflect on some of those experiences, since it would both reflect back on what Ajahn was talking about last night, but also add maybe something new. And I thought the first thing I might add is, be careful what you wish for. I remember very well, this would be 40 years ago, when the very early new technology was beginning to emerge, and everyone was talking about the paperless office. That with the development of new technology, we wouldn't need to have folders and files of paper anymore. And yet I also reflect that even now, when insurance companies and organizations find themselves in court, what people want to see is the paper. Mm-hmm. And even if you look at the Brexit negotiations, when the negotiators were walking in and out of the offices, they're walking in with piles of paper this high, folders and folders of paper. So we didn't get what we wished for. We got something different. And that's often the case with change. We embrace change expecting one thing, and we get something else. And those who were on the course that we did, the courses, if you remember, one of the very things we talked about was suspending expectations in our meditation practice. Not expecting it to be like this or that, not wanting it to be like this or that, not thinking one meditation practice was good and another one was bad. This problem of duality we have. Almost in everything, we tend to put things in boxes. And it's the same with change, because change is rarely what we expect it to be. And I had an issue with that yesterday. My son sent me a late Christmas present from Australia, and he did it online with Tesco. And I had a tracking number and had to pick it up at Tesco, but I wanted to know if it was there. And I spent 30 minutes online trying to get an answer Was this item yet delivered to the Tesco branch on the other side of Aberdeen? And for 15 minutes, it was, you are first in the queue, we'll be with you shortly. So be careful what we wish for in change. And I think it's important that we remember to embrace the change that's helpful for us. And you remember we talked previously about things that are helpful and things that are unhelpful. Well, of course, we all know that there's, in technology, whether it's with social media or whether it's online ordering of stuff, there's ladies. Hello, ladies. Whether it's online ordering of stuff or whether it's doing other business online, there's certain parts of it that are unhelpful. In fact, there's some parts of it, particularly social media, that are truly damaging if it's used in the wrong way. So just like anything else, and it's not just technology, when we're faced with change, and in organizations, I know quite a bit about this, it's really important to take people with you. And a lot of the problems we have with technology is we're not actually asked what we want. We're given what others decide they want to give us. And that makes it important for us to look at what's available and embrace the change that works for us rather than the change that's not terribly helpful. And that takes wisdom, I think. Wisdom that's gained from experience of life. And in our Buddhist teaching, the Buddha actually says, don't believe me, don't believe the teaching I'm giving you. Go and find out for yourself, experience it for yourself, find out the truth for yourself. And I think that applies also to change and technology and any other sort of change. Investigate it for ourselves. Find out what's helpful. Find out what's unhelpful. Take what's helpful into our lives and leave behind what's unhelpful. And I think that's very consistent with the practice of meditation practice. Learning from our practice what works for us. And if we go back to the very first part of the practice, selecting our primary object. Some people find that working with the abdomen works best. Other people find that working from the nostril works best. And I was speaking to someone a few days ago that settled on the chest. They can notice the chest rising and falling better than anything else. So, just building on the talk, Jean, that you were giving last night, and I hope you don't mind me doing that. Embracing change, yes, but embracing the change that is helpful and setting aside the change that is unhelpful and embracing it in a way that fits into the other parts of our lives so that that change, like technology, does not become something that takes over our lives. It becomes something that's useful along with the other parts of our lives. So with that context, Jean, I'll hand back to you.
Okay, so thank you very much for the reflection. And it reminds me a few weeks ago I read a beautiful, can you hear me okay, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of my headache, my sound is not so great these days. So yeah, A few weeks ago, I read a beautiful sayings, and this is again what David was saying about the papers and papers, and how much we are caught up with the papers, and we have to learn to adapt in a new form, a new norms, so called nowadays, so very famous. So the quote was something like, uh, "Life is the most difficult exam." uh, Most difficult exam. And in this exam, what happens is that many people fail because they try to copy others. Trying to copying others, that okay, I want to be this, I want to be that, and I need to be doing this, I need to be doing that, and not realizing that every one of us has got a different question paper. Uh, every one of has got the different question papers, and we have to deal with our own self along the way. And that's the reason why, this COVID-19 has affected across the globe, and every one of us are affected. But again, there is no such things that only this age of a people are getting, that age of a people are not getting. There are so many people who are cured despite of the age, despite of their um, illnesses. uh, and we cannot take it as the standard that, oh, I am young and I'm not going to be affected by the COVID. uh, so we cannot copy anyone at the same time. And this is why, when we look back the whole year, let's say, forget about the 2020, think about 2019, how much we were running around, with the absent of the mind. We were like a headless chicken, running and running and running, headless chicken. We do not know where we are going to, which way we are going to. And it's like also another simile I can think of is like the hamster wheel. We are running in the same place, thinking that it is bringing me happiness, it is bringing me success. And with that, running around headless, like a headless chicken or a hamster wheel, we have so many different types of emotions, and we have to face these emotions at all the time. And it triggers to the different types of stress. huh? Sometimes joy, sometimes angry, sometimes able to accept the situation, other times can't accept, and sometimes be mindful and aware of it. And suddenly, yeah, it happened that the whole year become a chaos. Huh? Whole year become such a new transformation, like a new world we are living in. And then suddenly we become a panic with, oh, what's going to happen, oh, what will be. Yeah? And then it was a panic attack to everyone. That's why the people buying the toilet papers, and I was questioning myself why people are buying these toilet papers in such this lockdown time. And it was crazy about it. uh, but what happened over the period of a time, everything became a normal. Everything changed into, although this is still lockdown, we do not feel locked down. Although we know that the virus is all around, we do not feel that much danger. So it reminds me like the classical conditioning story that the uh, what was called Pavlov's experiment with the dog and a food. Yeah. So food is unconditioned stimuli, and a dog is also unconditioned. uh, but very moment when the dog sees a food, dog brings the saliva. And at the same time, Pavlov did the training or experiment was that he used the turning fork or the bell. And bell doesn't make any sense to a dog at all. Yeah? But Pavlov, he used a bell and a food. So ring the bell and there is a food. So the very first time when Pavlov ring the bell, dog doesn't have any response. But later on, as he rings the bell, and there is food comes. The first time it was normal for a dog, but the next time, as he did couple of time before seeing a food, even hearing a bell ring, dog beginning to have a saliva. Yeah. So that's how we become trained into this new adaptation. So we become a normal, and our mind is like that too. We get so many stimulation from all around. You can think of it. Although we are locked down, yeah, we have so many stimulations coming through, and particularly nowadays we are getting so much triggers from internet, social media, and the news, and we're constantly going into the news, and that's how we become again caught up. By the end of this year, we are again beginning to go back to the same last year, like a headless chicken, like a running on a hamster wheel. Because now we have adapted, like the Pavlov's experiment of a dog. Yeah, it was difficult. Now we have adapted, and with that, we're going back to the same circle one. And now here, practice of a meditation is basically seeing this transformation. Seeing this transformation that living in the past or a future, uh, actually, there is no past and no future. All what is now what we have now. And this is the moment what we need to know, the seeing the clear seeing, knowing the what's happening. It's not like the half empty and a half full glass of water. We will not be coming to the air and us coming to the conclusion that which one is right between half empty and half full. But the reality, the truth is that the glass has a water in it, yeah, but what is called not a lot or not full. So life is like that too. Yeah? We have so many ups and downs along the way. Uh, in the past and in the future, probably in a few things, many things could happen. The reality is here in the middle, that we are in the moment. So that's what practice of a meditation is. It is like a skills for life. And in the past, I never thought that this is a skills for life. I thought this is a meditation and that's it. But there was one day, and Lena talked to me, Achan, you have to say something which is nice, which is tempting others to come and practice. And then he said, it is a skill, Achan, that once we have learned it, we can use it in everyday life. And then she used this skills for life. And now I see why mindfulness is a skills for life. It helps us to deal with the different situation that we are going through. Yeah, it is a cult. Once we are practicing, it helps us to unfold into the unfolds our own emotions and feelings and deepening into it. Yeah, understanding about it. So that's why meditation is, the more we practice, the better we becomes. Yeah? The more we practice, the better we become. And this is the practice, right? And in this practice, when we look at the Buddha's teachings, uh, simply said that you know, there is a past and there is a future. In the middle we are, in the present moment. And in the present moment, the body is always here. Understanding this body, feeling this body is the key. And I remember last week I was teaching, and there was I began with the Chinese word for the mindfulness. And this Chinese word for the mindfulness is the presentness of the heart. The presentness of the heart. Isn't that beautiful? Normally, we spend time thinking, we're using our head, thinking too much. And when we think, we use a lot of perceptions, a lot of memories, a lot of things that we think is the right, and a lot of things that we think is not right. Whenever we are saying something, then we already bias about it. But when there is a presentness of the heart, so when you feel from your heart, and that moment is always the present. So there's no further on. And it reminds me the definition, the modern definition, and again, everyone probably many people know about the meaning of mindfulness, that John Kabat-Zinn, and he's known as the father of modern mindfulness meditation, who has introduced so many um, what is called the therapies, right? Uh, the discourses on the base of a mindfulness, and one of the best the book that written by him was A Full Catastrophe. So he gave a definition of a mindfulness is like mindfulness is paying attention to in a particular way on purpose in the present moment without any judgments, right? So here, paying attention to what is that we are paying attention to, and that is whatever in the present moment, and we are paying attention to it on purpose, trying to see things as they truly are. And this seeing truly are is the mindfulness. Okay, and this again, mindfulness alone is not enough. We have to see it in its true nature. That's why there is a two words called sati and sampajanya. Means understanding that whatever we are experiencing is not for permanent. Not for permanent. Every emotions that we face, every situation that we are in, every pains and difficulties that we have are not permanent. And that what we need to understand, and that we can realize by our practice. It sounds like a very dry and boring, and it sounds like a pessimistic. Oh, why am I meditating to see nothing is permanent? Why am I seeing everything is changing? I want happiness, this permanent happiness. I want everything good at all the time, like that. But the reality is that everything changes, doesn't matter what. And that is what we are trying to understand. And on the way to understand that, we work internally, and then we work externally, and then we work both internally and externally. And this is interesting, isn't it? Sometimes when we become too in meditate, when we are in a meditation, what happens is sometimes you're in such a zoned in, and you want to be in that zoned in for a long time. And in that moment, you don't want to associate with anyone. You don't want to talk to anyone. And you may be thinking, oh, I am doing meditation every day. They are not doing meditation, they are not good. I am doing meditation so I can control my emotions. They cannot, sort of this may come. So in that case, internally we are meditating, and meanwhile externally we are helping others, understanding others, and sharing this love and kindness, ability to accept them who they are, ability to respect who they are, and seeing their presence are helping me to grow my meditation, helping me to practice more, helping me to understand the whole system. Okay, so with this, I was just thinking, today is the last day of the year. uh, uh, just giving you an overview of what we have been doing and what meditation is. I hope you understand that. And with this in mind, let's practice meditation. And then after the meditation, then again, we'll come back to hear more sharings from you. Yeah, sharings of the year. Okay. Right, so let's practice together. Okay, so now take your seat, comfortable seats, and as you hear the gong, then we'll lead you through. Okay, so bring your attention to the body in the present moment, here and now. Spend a few moments on the body scan. Awareness of the body sitting here and now, and spend some time body scan from top to bottom. You may do part by part or 7 parts of a body scan, like breathing in and out, aware of the entire head, all the sensations around in your head. For a couple of breaths. And to the right hand, and the left hand. And the front part. And the back, observing all the sensations. and to the right leg, and then to the left leg. And simply bring your attention to the primary object that you are comfortable with, the incoming breath or outgoing breath. So first practice is to realize that that is taking place. If the breath is incoming breath and outgoing breath, if the rising falling, then rising falling of abdomen. So knowing as it is taking place. And suppose you are comfortable with a rising falling of abdomen, then make sure that each time when it arises, make a mental note. And each time when it falls, make a mental note that it is falling, it is rising, it is falling. Or simply rising, falling. Or if you feel comfortable with the breath and you've been practicing with the breath, and simply breathing in and breathing out. And remember, a practice of the breathing in and breathing out, or the rising falling of abdomen, it is about the wind element that we are trying to understand. As we become conscious about the wind element as it comes in and as it goes out, then we realize that it is just the elements, not not I am breathing, not my breath. Remember, in this process, breathing must be normal. Do not control or do not hold the breath to see, to make a difference. And this time, as you're paying attention to the incoming breath and outgoing breath, mind obviously drifts away to the thoughts, so-called distractions. At that moment, you simply observe that distracted mind, acknowledge that my mind has distracted, making a mental note that distraction as thinking, and let go and come back to the primary object. So breathing in, breathing out, rising, falling. Whenever mind distracted, know that distraction, observe, acknowledge, note, and let go. So breathing in and breathing out, rising, falling. So when mind distracts, observe, acknowledge, note, and let go back to the primary object. As your mind calms down, try to notice the difference between the bodily sensation and the feeling. You are feeling the body through the feeling. Because of the body, there is a feeling. So try to observe the feeling and the bodily function are two different. And that feeling can be pleasant and unpleasant. Sometimes not knowing what kind of a feeling is that. So feeling is dependent on the body functions. Seeing it two different things. So breathing in and breathing out, rising, falling. Although we are paying attention to the bodily function with the help of the air element, the sensations are different. And then the body. And further on, try to notice that your mind is observing these two phenomena. Mind is aware of the feelings and the movement of the body. So there is observer and observed. All are conditioning. So mind is always present there. And that's simply because the feeling. So mind is tied up with the object. And here consciously making a mental note or conscious decision, consciously aware of that. It is happening. Make sure that you are not controlling the process. You're simply observer, observing this activity. When you are observing objectively, you will realize that each sensations are different, and each time when we know that is different, bodily functions are always changing. Everything is always in the flux, changing it all the time. And understanding this nature of change helps us to realize that how much we are caught up into this worldly matters, how much we are triggered through the things that we come across. And running like a headless chicken. So we are paying attention to these activities on purpose to understand the reality and things which is happening in the present moment with no judgment but simply a good observer. So we have intention, and we apply our attention on the object. And attentively keep your attention. So breathing in, breathing out, rising, falling. Any emotions, any feelings, any stress and anxiety, all are temporarily, that's changing along with the moment by moment, how we connect, how we relate, how we think. So breathing in and breathing out, rising, falling. As you hear the gong, slowly coming out to normal. Okay, so thank you everyone. Now it's time sharing. First of all, I would like to welcome Dr. Sakya. He's joining us from Berkshire. So, okay, anyone has got anything to share, your experiences or any questions? Then please do so.
I'd like to share, this was like really awesomeness. I'd first like to wish you that may your migraines go away, Sujan, for you, because it must be uncomfortable. I don't know what's triggering it off for you, but I hope you'll find out the solution. But this was like really good for me because I really normally am very unsettled and fidget and everything like that. And there was a few distractions and I kept saying to myself, note it, don't open your eyes. Especially when someone sneezed, I usually would just open up and I thought, no, note it, and then carry on. This has been the best I've ever been myself.
Okay.
So thank you
Good.
very much.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. Good. Anyone else? No? Okay. Right. Yes, David?
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, here now.
Good. I was going to suggest that maybe the migraines are triggered by too much work on the computer, but let's not go there. I've been practicing quite a while, as you know, and I know that there is this sort of myth that people who practice a long time can deal with distractions, can go into that Zoom moment, if you like, and hold it there for an hour without any problems. And I remember when I've been on this journey, there's been many moments when it's been quite the opposite. When you think you're settled, you're into a good practice, and suddenly you lose it completely. It may be because of a particular distraction, usually a thought that might be a disturbing thought. And I wondered if you had any advice for those who have been practicing a little bit longer and perhaps thinking they're superheroes, and then suddenly they find the practice disappears for a while.
So, thank you. We have so many things to stimulate us all the time. Yeah, our eye sees, our ear hears, our nose and tongue and the body. So that's why it is inevitable to have triggers. And it is obvious that because mind is conditioned with what we come across. And when we meditate, obviously mind tends to go away, thinking about this and about that, about what you come across. That's why when you go to the retreats, you are not allowed to speak, because one speak, maybe one word can disturb you probably a whole day, because you will be thinking about that word that you have said, and said to whom, in which situation, and why. So you will be wondering again and again, and whenever you close your eyes and try to meditate, your mind will be thinking of that constantly. Okay, and with that, we will not have a samadhi. Right? We will not have a concentrated mind. We will not have a calm mind. And then this moment suddenly people will be thinking, oh, my meditation is not good. Oh, my meditation is horrible. I'm thinking so much. And I try to bring it back again and again. I'm still thinking. So annoying. As soon as I realize that this mind is thinking, I want to bring it back again, I'm thinking again. Yeah. So like that. So, and you may say that this is bad meditation. Yeah? But my understanding, that is one of the best meditation. Because you're working. Because your mind is working. You're recognizing that my mind is wandering, my mind is distracted, and now I need to be mindful of that. So your mind is alert, your mind is awake. You are mindful that moment. And when you go into the meditation and your mind is so zoned in into the object, then it becomes so calm and so wonderful, because your mind has got only one object. And you think, my meditation is wonderful. And wish I can meditate whole day. It's like a hangover. Hangover on your calmness, blissfulness. Okay, so in those cases, once we've been practicing for some times, whatever is there is there. Don't worry, because all what we do is to know and see that this is happening, how it is happening. Thus it is. Understanding that the triggers, understanding that the distractions, and that distractions become object of a meditation. So in the practice of insight meditation, that is no more distraction. But when we are practicing to achieve something from meditation, like a calmness, like a one-pointedness, then the rest of others become a distraction. Okay, but in order to see the fruit of a meditation, we do have to go with this calmness of the mind. That's why you are focusing on a primary object. And when you are focusing on a primary object, whenever mind goes to something else and distracted, that time we call it a distraction. And we simply, the formula I've been using is observe, acknowledge, note, and let go and come back. Okay? Come back to the primary object. So that is. But again, there are different ways to do overcome distraction as well. And that's first thing in first one has to think is at least of practicing of 5 precepts. 5 precepts will help to the lose distraction will be less distractions. The practice of the 5 precepts. And then if you have been learning to let go of things, let's say giving away something, whether that's a material things or immaterial things, forgiveness or something like that, again, that's also a way you will be able to minimize the distraction. Okay? Further on, the more we practice, the best way to understand is that no distractions. Everything becomes the object of a meditation, and we all need to know that as they truly are. Right? So that is. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Karina?
Hi, everybody. I just want to thank you, Ajahn Sujan, and David as well, to introduce me to the mindfulness. And because it was precisely 1 year ago when I started with the Mindfulness Mondays with the collaboration with NHS Grampian. And it was been for a while that I was looking for Buddhist teachings and mindfulness, and I could not find anything like suitable. And then I was in my dentist waiting room, and I saw the newspaper with the Mindfulness Mondays in collaboration with NHS and the Varapunya Meditation Center. And then I started to go, and then there was the opportunity of doing the mindfulness course with David. And then the pandemic happens, and you start to give the talks online on Facebook. That was the best that happened, actually, because we could follow you every day, and your talks, your teachings, the mindfulness, the meditation guided practice, and that was a big achievement, and I'm very grateful for that. It was a big achievement for me, and it helped me a lot to deal with all of the situation and all of these confusing feelings, like what is going to happen. And I was like anxious all the time before, like, oh, and then I have to do that, and then I have to do this, and then nothing works because it's never like the way we think. And that helped me a lot. And being practicing regularly, it's really making me understand better myself and the others. And recently I had a colleague of mine saying that, oh, I would like to try and mindfulness, because people that are doing it say that they achieve a big difference and on their behavior, but the others continue the same. And I was like, yes, but we are not supposed to change the others. The others probably, we would make an impact on others, probably with our attitude towards something. And that's what makes them change. But you cannot actually change anything, and the other ones would continue the same way they are. It's you that actually improve your way of seeing it. So yes, I just want to say that because, as you said, it's the end of the year, and yes, I want to share that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Karina. Madhuri?
I just wanted to say that I enjoyed the experience. My mind was full of lots of thoughts, while doing the meditation. So I was getting distracted here and there all the time, but I still could see the benefit of it. I feel calm or peaceful now, and I see why it should be done more often. And yeah, but thank you for the
Good.
experience.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And I think Lourdes want to say something. You have to unmute. Sorry, you haven't unmuted yet.
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you for letting me know. I started to do mindfulness a few years ago, and I love it. And I wish I would done it almost every day. I try to, but sometimes I don't. But it's helped me tremendously, and I'm very grateful to you and David because 3 years ago I was really lost and really exhausted, and I don't know where I would be now without your teachings, yours and David. Honestly, I don't know where. So I'm very grateful for that. Very, very grateful. And thank you so much for doing it online. It's one of, I think, the positive things of COVID. We find new ways. And that's something else. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, COVID taught me how to use Zoom and how to go online face to face. I was very shy and not able to give a talks. And now I'm becoming like a professional talker. Just to recap what Karina said, that there are people would like to do and say would like to do, but they do not do. And it's like, I could see the kind of 5 types of the people. Yeah. Some people like to wish. Okay, I know I have heard and I wish I can meditate. And there is someone hope, or I hope to do it. And someone say, I like to do it. And then someone say, oh, I want to do it. And very few will commit. And this commitment is the high level. And that brings the benefit, and that brings the fruit, and it brings the confidence as well. Yeah? And because of this commitment that we have applied and practiced, it is helping us to build up our confidence that yes, meditation is helping. Yes, meditation is useful. It is a skill that we can apply in our day-to-day life, and we can overcome our different types of emotions and stress and anxiety and difficulties if we really if we have been really practicing it. And with that confidence, and it becomes the belief that yes, I can do that. Yes, this is helping. And once we have got this belief that meditation is helping us, then obviously we will spend some times practicing meditation regularly. And with this regular practice, that brings more mindfulness and awareness in our day-to-day life, and ability to catch it before it triggers, and we can bin it. That's the way. And then with that, we become a more concentrated. Best thing, and I could see if you have seen the logo of a Nike, the stick Nike, the logo says, just do it. Just do it. That's all. All what we need is just do it. Because as we know that although, yes, I am a Buddhist monk, I'm following a Buddhist tradition and I'm teaching meditation, but we have to understand that mindfulness is not about the religion. It is a method of a training, mind, understanding our mind. And later on, after you have, suppose, enlightened and you want to become a monk, or you want to become a nun or a Buddhist, it's up to you. Okay? Or even you don't want to become a nun, or you don't want to become a monk, then okay. If you want to become a monk, we have a space here at the center. Nun, we have to build it again. So it's okay. And the essence of the practice is not about this religion. It's about the mental training. And then practice doesn't take long time. Yeah, it doesn't take a long time. It takes only a couple of minutes a day. Yeah, and you don't have to have a Buddha statue. You don't have to do the long chanting. You don't have to be sitting there watching whether you're doing it or not. Like that. You don't have to have that. If I am there, you will be frightened. And again, it's the meditation is not complicated. Normally, we've been always we are already complicated. Why do we want to make it complicated? Meditation. So let it simple. Just breathe in, breathe out. Do not make it complicated. Oh, how long, how short, how which way, do not make it complicated. Our life is already complicated. Simple. Breathing in, we know. Breathing out, we know. Rising, falling, we know. That's all. Yeah? And there is no success and failure in the practice of a meditation. As I have said, if you've been training, if you have joined some kind of a physical training, end of the day you didn't go to the exam, doesn't mean that you do not know all the trainings. You know. So that's why practice of meditation is like that too. It's up to you how much you do and how much the amount of the work that you do, you will get the result of it. And it's up to you, isn't it? Right? So, and it is again, it's not just but one we have to understand that it is not just a technique to relax your mind and body. Okay? And it's not about emptying our mind. It's very different from thinking about the positive only too, because we are trying to understand both positive and negative things. Yeah? Both positive and negative things, and we are treating them equally. Yeah, we are treating them both equally. This is negative, this is positive. That's fine. Thank you. Goodbye. Do not offer a tea. Yeah, just say goodbye from the door. That's all what we need. Whenever you offer a tea, then the trouble begins. We begin to gossip about this third person. We forgot asking about each other. Yeah, and when we talk about the third person gossip, the story begins, and then that's how we go into different moods. Yeah, different moods. So all what we need to know that mindfulness meditation is learning about you. Know who you are. That's all. If you remember, what is the most important question? Yeah, what is the most important things to know in the world is you. If you remember this story, I'm not going to repeat this story. Okay, so for this year, my message to you all will be that just do it. Do not make it as a religion or airy-fairy complicated about the mindfulness meditation. All is do it, know it, see it. That's all. And it will change your attitude, and try not to see the half empty or half full glass of water, just to see in the middle. Oh, glass has got the water, but not full, little or a little bit more. Okay, and that's the way we have to go through, because 2021 is going to be new year. New. That's why we call new. Yeah? And in a few days, we will know 2020 begins. And after that, it's become a new. It will be past. Yeah? Now, yeah, N-O-W. Now, when we put the K, what happens? It's become a no. I know this now. Yeah? And then what happens next is I have known it, so that's why I knew it. So it's become a past. So know, now, know, and then knew, and that's gone, finished. That's it. So always knew. Yeah, knew always become the past. Okay, so this will be my message to you all, and the most thing I would say, remember this sign. Nike says, "Just do it." Okay, so right, anyone else?
Jean, can I just add that we'll be starting what was the Credo course online again at the end of January. Yeah. I'll be putting the information out soon. So if anyone is aware of anyone, colleagues, friends, relatives, who might be interested in learning more about mindfulness meditation, then you can point them in our direction. You know the email address, via meditation@vmc@gmail.com. Just point them in our direction, and hopefully we'll have, I don't know how many who may join us at the end of January, and we'll run that course as we have before for 6 to 8 weeks. So just to let you know, and as I say, point people in our direction if you can. meditation@vmc@gmail.com.
Yeah, or if you find difficult, just send a message to our Varapunya Meditation Facebook as well. Okay, right. Anyone wants to share anything? Okay. So, right. In that case, my last message is mindfulness meditation is like a paradise place. Yeah. From where we can witness our thoughts, our feelings as they arise. Mhm. So in the paradise that you are living, and you are watching all the thoughts, all the emotions, all the feelings arises, and you know that. So when you are in the paradise, you will forget and let go of all these words, thoughts and feelings and emotions, and you simply want to enjoy this, let's say, beach, beautiful sea and beautiful beach with a clear sky. You will not pay attention to all the hustles and bustles that going behind your back. So practice of mindfulness meditation is basically you're creating your own what's called vintage point to see this thoughts and feelings. Okay, let's do the loving kindness meditation to finish off, unless any one of you have got anything to share or questions. Right.
Did Margaret want to say something?
Oh,
no.
Okay.
Just to thank you very much for enjoy every night at 6:30. I look forward to it.
Thank you, Margaret. I think you are the first person I have seen following me throughout the time.
Well, I've never missed a night.
From every day, huh? So
every day I've never missed one.
Okay.
I think Jean's missed more nights than you have, Margaret.
Sorry?
I think Jean's missed more nights than you have.
Yes. I've even done yours on a Wednesday as well.
Yeah, Okay, so just give you information that I'm giving talks and meditation every night if possible, if there is no emergencies. And there is a Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock meditation by David going on. And usually this is our monthly gathering. And here you will have more chance to speak and more chance to talk. So this is a good platform to share your thoughts and your experiences or any difficulties in meditation. So with this in mind, and as you have already heard what David said about the sentence, I don't have to repeat again. And with this, so this year we need two things. One is um, kind of a Panadol, keep it healthy, protected from all the viruses, and also need vitamin C to keep us strong. So similarly, our mind also need protection and nurture, and that protection we can get it from practicing at least of the 5 precepts, and the nurture is just do it. Okay. With this in mind, let's practice the loving kindness meditation. So sitting comfortably and relax yourself. And with the gong, let's practice. So bring your attention to the moment here and now. So just mute all. And reflecting a few moments on today's session. And settle down yourself, observing entire body. As you breathe in and breathe out, experiencing the entire body. So observing a little bit deeper into the body, observing all the sensations that is taking place in your body. Whatever sensations are there, simply observing it without having any commentaries, adjustments, liking, disliking. And bring that attention to your hands. Observing sensations in your hands, whatever sensations are there. The heat, cold, softness, hardness. Whatever sensations are, just observe it as they are. And bring that attention to your heart, feeling the beating heart. Now, if you can't feel the beating heart, physically a smile will connect you. So smile and feel the connection with your heart. And as you feel the connection with your heart, generating loving kindness and compassion to yourself, and sharing it mentally towards yourself. May I be happy. It is not just a happiness, a word, but a true feeling from bottom of your heart. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. Whatever suffering that we are going through, may we be free from it. May I be free from that. May I be at peace, feeling a sense of peace, tranquil, may I be free from hurtfulness, hatred. May I be free from troubles of body and mind. May I be liberated, liberated. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, far and wide. You may start with a particular person or a thing that you want to share your merits. May you be happy. May you be at peace. May you be free from suffering. And extending it to the entire world. Whatever beings are there, visible and invisible beings, near and dear, people around you, people in the house, in the community, in the city, in the country, and in the entire world. Whatever beings are there, without measure, without end. May they be happy. May they be at peace. May they be free from suffering. May they be free from hurtfulness, hatred. May they be free from troubles of body and mind. Whatever merits that I have accumulated, may all beings partake of all the merits from the good deeds that I have done. Those loved and full of goodness, such as our parents, beings seen and unseen, including those neutral and averse, wherever in this universe. May they rejoice in it, the sharing and dedication of my merits. And by rejoicing in this merit, may you all live at ease in freedom from hostility. May your good wishes come true and fulfilled. May you all be safe and free from danger. And may you be liberated. So bring your attention to your hands again, aware of your hand, and to your body. And to your eyes. And as you hear this gong slowly coming out. Okay, thank you everyone. So this is the end of today's session and the end of the year. Wish you all have a wonderful year ahead, and hopefully we'll see you all of us again end of January. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very